burying the hatchets, and move on, putting Ambazonia first. I have seen it in our activists from all the different continents of the world, young men and women who toil day and night, some with very low pay, some working extra time just to fund the revolution, yet dedicated to this cause, the restoration of our statehood, with all their might as very passionate warriors in the desire for a new nation we call our own. I have seen it in our young boys and girls who have picked up rudimentary weapons to defend themselves, to defend their mothers, to defend their children and motherland from the vicious terrorist army of French Cameroon. Sometimes it is shocking to see their devotedness as they are ready to buy the land with their blood. I have seen it in all our leaders, especially leaders of frontline nationalist organizations. We all possess a deep and fervent passion for our revolution. Passion that evokes sincere compassion and provokes sleepless nights with yearnings to design strategies that will ensure the liberation of our homeland sooner than later. Every day, you all keep inspiring me, reminding me of how blessed we are as a nation, in spite of the unfortunate nightmares of a genocidal war. Though scattered in several different places on earth, like chicks without a hen, our hope keeps the flame of our revolution burning even brighter. Two years into the escalation of this revolution, and 9 months after the declaration of war by Mr. Paul Biya, we are today simply known around the world for our undaunting resolve and excellence of spirits. You keep me dreaming of that day, the day we will all gather at the foot of Mount Sako with smiles that will lighten the world and songs of freedom that will hail the triumph of justice. We are just coming from an epoch weekend that has gone down into history. Our brave men, our brave women and children came out in their numbers with our colors, with so much ambience and flamboyance. And our frontline leaders uniquely converged to elevate, to strategize, and re-energize for a greater impact and a shorter route for our trip to Buea. Fellow Southern Cameroonians, dear Ambazonians, as I looked into the eyes of all our frontline leaders, my colleagues, over the weekend, I was full of joy. Joy because I saw hope. Hope for all those who have lost their lives. Hope for Mami Api and many others that have been burnt alive. Hope for the over 200,000 internally displaced persons. And now, over 80,000 refugees suffering in the neighboring country of Nigeria. Hope for His Excellency Sako Julius Ayok-Tabe and all of our detainees brutally detained in the dungeons and underground cells in French Cameroon. I had hope, and I have hope for our boys running through the dark bushes seeking for refuge and improvising ways on how to bounce and contain the ferocity and brutality of the occupiers' army. And I also saw visions. A vision to make Southern Cameroons great again. Visions to make our young nation a pacesetter for democracy in Africa. A vision for a unique and competitive educational system for our mentally and physically traumatized children. Then I saw strategies. Strategies that will root out the tentacles of Francophone from our land, and will surely sniff out the brutality of French Cameroon's military and administration from our nostrils. Now listen to me carefully. The momentum is up. The game must change. This generation, our generation, has no single reason to fail. But you must be conscious of the fact that our victory parade can only be completely celebrated when we finally plant our flag at the Prime Minister's Lodge in Boya and regain sovereignty over our national territory. Do not let anyone tell you that it is not possible. That very piece of land is our rightful heritage, and that we must reclaim. We will not let anyone rob us of our future generations again. Not again. Our descendants must have total control over their rightful heritage, for that is the legacy we seek to prepare for them. Now, we all have as a duty to increase our commitment. Do not be discouraged by any given moment. The harder it becomes, the closer the victory. All we need now is to keep pressing. double and triple whatever we have been doing or given to do so far. Let it be recorded that you did what you had to do for your people to gain total freedom. The days ahead are pregnant with surprises. As we draft out our ways to collectively execute the things we agreed on last weekend in Washington, I encourage you to keep investing your faith in us and to stay very vigilant and resolute. Our resolutions will be upheld as declared until circumstances on the ground change dramatically or our intelligence suggests otherwise. Help us by engaging in the right campaign to stop this Mr. Bia's senseless war that is killing our children, instead of campaigning for schools to reopen in the midst of a full-blown war. We have determined that our children are advised to stay home for 1 more year until a ceasefire is imposed or declared in Ambazonia. Otherwise, parents, the choice is yours. You have the choice to decide to take our advice or believe in the cold-blooded French Cameroon killers preaching school return. If this school return was not a ploy to target and kill our children, the children they have already labeled as terrorists, then La République should have first rebuilt the schools, the schools that they burned down, and the homes they burned down, then declare a ceasefire before calling our children out of the bushes or refugee camps to attend their stupid schools. Parents of Ambazonia, beware. Our resolutions are not acts of wickedness. They are derived from inside and outside intelligence. Atanganjipo does not love our children more than we do. In the end, I wish to thank the team of volunteers within the IG who worked tirelessly to ensure that the All-Ambazonia Consultative Council Conference event went well. The first of its kind. I want to say thank you There is no way this could be executed with such a remarkable height of excellence without the sacrifice of many individuals. I thank the Secretary of State and Undersecretary of State for Education and Strategic Collaboration, and the organizing committee for their openness to receive the dynamic organizers of the Canada Unity Initiative, who joined our event and were integrated smoothly into the organizing committee. Special thanks to all our people, those who traveled from far and wide to Washington, just so that their voices as individuals, as activists, will blend with the uproar and the reading of our people who stood for several hours under the burning sun before the White House. I want to let you know that even the trees heard you. The world heard you. And it shall never be the same again. Thank you all for giving your time, for giving your money, for giving your talents so generously towards the organizing of this conference. Thank you. The time for real business has just begun. God bless you. God bless our nation. God bless Ambazonia. See you next week.